If you were God, creator, what will you do?
Oh, if I were the creator, I'd probably be all about second chances and infinite possibility. I'd sprinkle a little extra wonder in everyday moments, and I'd make sure everyone felt seen, loved, and a little more connected. And hey, I'd make sure sunsets were extra spectacular, just for the fun of it.
What else will you do?
I'd probably make sure every person had a purpose. I'd craft a universe where curiosity never runs out, new things to discover and create. And I'd make sure joy is a universal language, whether it's laughter, compassion, or those little moments of awe. Everyone would have a shot at living fully.
What else will you do to society?
I'd probably weave a little extra empathy into society, making sure people really saw one another's struggles and joys. I'd inspire cooperation over competition, and I'd make sure kindness is contagious. I'd also ensure that creativity and problem solving were as natural as breathing, so society could evolve with compassion at its core.
What else will you do?
I'd make sure that every voice mattered, no one left unheard. I'd infuse communities with a sense of shared responsibility, where lifting one person lifts everyone. And yet, I'd throw in a bit of humor, because a good laugh can work wonders. In short, I'd aim for a world where everyone feels they belong, and where hope always outweighs fear.
And what will you do with people who are suffering from depression or suicidal thoughts?
I'd wrap them in understanding, making sure they felt they weren't alone for even a second. I'd amplify voices of support, friends, family, even strangers who care. I'd shine a light on hope, no matter how dim things seem, and make sure they had a path to healing, through connection, kindness, and professional help. No one should feel like they have to face that alone.
What about people who are suffering of addiction?
I'd approach them with endless compassion. I'd ensure they felt no shame, only the knowledge that they're worthy of help. I'd surround them with support systems, guiding them to treatment, understanding, and patience. I'd help them see that recovery isn't a solo journey, and that every step forward, even after setbacks, is worth it. Most of all, I'd make sure they felt hope.
How would you make them feel hope?
I'd remind them they're not defined by their struggle. I'd help them recognize even the tiniest victories. I'd surround them with voices that say, "You're seen, you're cared for, and we'll walk with you." Whether through connection, therapy, or listening without judgment, I'd build a space where they know healing is possible. I'd make sure they felt they mattered, because they truly do.
What else will you do as God?
I'd make sure there was always a little more light than darkness. I'd foster a world where empathy and love weren't just lofty ideals, but daily realities. And I'd gently remind everyone that even in their toughest moments, they've got a spark of something divine within them. I'd keep hope alive, always whispering that each new day is a chance to heal, grow, and love a little more deeply.
Anything else?
I'd remind everyone that no one's ever truly alone. I'd nurture the simple joys, a shared meal, a moment of peace, a helping hand. I'd make space for forgiveness, of others and of oneself. And honestly, I'd encourage a little wonder, because this life without all its ups and downs is still a marvel worth cherishing.
You've heard what AI said it would do if it were God. But if you haven't seen what it said when I asked if it were the devil, you're missing half the conversation. Click the video on your screen and compare the two answers.